3, 2, oh fuck, that's already recording. Alright, it's okay. I will edit it. Hello everyone, welcome to the Condor Matador Twitch stream. My name is Jerry, and this is our mascot, Elvis, and he's going to be joining me. He's a toy poodle. He's sitting on my lap right now in my office. What is the Condor Matador stream? Condor Matador is a pop rock group from Montreal. We are a duo. The stream we started because we thought it would be a nice idea to have a platform to share different ideas, be them songwriting ideas, have practices where I learn different production techniques and try to do some writing using a couple of different software libraries. So the nice software libraries like Splice, where I find a lot of different samples. And the samples are a lot of fun to use. You can implement them into songs that you already have. You can start writing songs based on the samples that you find in this application called Splice. So I thought that the Twitch stream would be an interesting place to explore this tool through Logic Pro. But, ladies and gentlemen, my purpose is dual. I also would like to talk a little bit about the musical that we are writing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that correctly. We are going to be writing a musical called Spaceman the Musical. So I just need to access this, get signed into another account. Which one? I think it might be Jerry. So as you can tell, we're using this. I just got to go open up the different. Where should I put this? I'll just stay in the Twitch studio next. Done. Just so I don't share accidentally. Oh, look at that. This is infinity, ladies and gentlemen. Jerry, Condor Matador. I will not. Let's use Condor Matador. Oh, the puppy. Oh, where did I make in the Jer? My other one? Okay, let's see. Always an interesting experience. Look at that. Peering into infinity. Woo! That's amazing. Okay. There it is. Okay, I figured out which account I need to use. That's the problem with having many, many Gmail accounts. It's perhaps disorganized. I will concede that. Oh, the pup. Okay. I forgot my password. Check my phone. Gotta get my password back. You know, these are the hiccups that we live through. Don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to figure this out anyways. No one's there yet. So, you know what? This is actually nice that I'm figuring out these kinks. Well, there's no audience. Even though, how could anybody resist this cute guy? I think he's going to join me sometimes on these streams because it's nice to have him with me. Okay. Now I'm going to go. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I've got a bit of work to do here. Sorry that there's some technical work. So just to access the Spaceman the Musical file, that's what I'm going to need to do. Okay, so it's just taking me a moment. I should have had this set up before, but I was a little bit late to come get the stream started. So what can you do? This is going to be a long, long stream. We're going to be able to do this. Okay, so enter code. Meanwhile, viewers, you can enjoy infinity. Okay. Let's do. Password I haven't used before. Damn it. Passwords, eh? Who needs them? Oops, sorry. Now I'm going to use it like this. And here we go, baby. There we go. Finally, I can share this stuff with you. Okay, so let's go back. We're here. Let's go into Spaceman the musical. Yeah, okay, maybe it's not the most exciting thing to see this Google Doc, but it's just, I want to share with you what the musical is. So I'm going to go through these things. And I'll talk about the musical a little bit. And I see this as a bit of a brainstorming session. And so that's it. I'm going to go through it. And I'm going to talk about it, think about it out loud. Elvis will likely chime in now and again, the sweet, sweet dog. And yeah, let's go through it. Let's talk about it. So Spaceman the musical. What is the idea of Spaceman? Well, can you believe it? The idea for Spaceman came to me in a dream. And in that dream, I was going to see a good friend of mine named Liam. He had put on a musical, and this is the premise of the dream. I go see this musical of his, and it's a lovely musical, except there's only one song, and it's a dance number. And then the rest of the thing was just a play. So in this dream, I had to explain to Liam exactly what a musical is. You know, music, your musical, it's in the title, it needs to be music, you know? There needs to be music that you can listen to, there has to be singing, there has to be characters. Now, there you go, there's Elvis chiming in, there's a sweet boy, eh? Hey, that's enough, you silly pup. Hey. So, yeah, I had to explain to him what a musical was. And then I remember when I woke up, the entire story from this musical. So, roughly speaking, it's like a retelling of the classic Egyptian myth of Osiris battling his uncle Set. Horus battling his uncle Set after the death of Osiris, the rightful wise old king. And it's a story that I've always loved a lot. When I was a kid, I had a fascination with ancient Egyptian mythology that, honestly, I went to tons of museums with my dad, spent a long time thinking about these things. And I'll just close that. I was looking up Slipknot earlier. My tabs are open. How embarrassing. There could be more embarrassing for sure. So no problems there. Okay. So, yeah. I was fascinated with Egyptian myths. My dad took me to a ton of museums. It's something that I've always found amazing. And yeah, so I retold this myth to Liam in the dream. And when I woke up, I had a perfect recollection of the story. Except I added a spaceman, and the story takes place on one of what is it, Saturn's moons. And it's I'm sorry, it's been a little while since I've worked on this. This is partly why I want to take another look at it, familiarize myself with the music and stuff, and with the project, because I've already written 3 songs for this musical. And you'll see it's not nothing. You know, I've got here like a good, 5 or 6 pages of stuff. So, pardon me. The hope here is that I'm going to make this thing grow little by little, and yeah, putting in some work. So now let's take a look. Okay, Spaceman the musical. Why is he leaving Earth? Character sheet help with the monologue. So there you go. We need to establish some character traits for our lead character, Spaceman. So essentially, I'm just going to go through the story. Okay, musical starts with the launch of a highly classified aircraft on Earth. Spaceman speaks to an official about logistics regarding the launch. Both are walking to the launch site as music picks up. Opening song begins. The official wishes Spaceman good luck. You're the only pilot we got who can do this right now, Spaceman. Your knowledge of engineering really sets you apart, so don't fuck this up. So that's like a rough line, you know what I mean? But so this is it. It starts with the launch. You know, that I feel like that's a good beginning for the Spaceman musical. So we'll continue that. Bullet point version of the story. So monologue, technobabble, song, essentially. That's the structure of the opening sequence of the musical. Spaceman preps himself in the seat for launch. Countdown begins. And now, set note, spaceship is a cool throne, a gaming chair with extra tubes and lights flashing. There's an integrated smoke machine in it that starts diffusing smoke when he says there was a malfunction. Lasers would be cool too. I don't know what we're going to do here. So you'll see this document is essentially a brainstorming document. I just want to navigate it with you a little bit as we go along. So there'll be sort of like little script ideas. There'll be little story ideas. There'll be set ideas, costume ideas, song ideas as well. Because it's kind of like the whole package, this little document here. This is where I just put all my ideas down. We don't have a script yet. We've got 3 songs written. So that's a decent amount of songs. but we're going to need to write like 15 songs or something. So that's it. That's okay though. So, but you'll see there's some ideas for a little bit of everything in here. Okay, so let's continue. We're gonna continue. Song begins, taking flight. I'm actually really proud of this one. I've got this little thing. I would like to try audience participation at the end, but perhaps it's an overdone theater trope. We shall see. We're gonna continue. There's malfunction, which is integrated into the song Taking Flight. He sings about the malfunction. Spaceman desperately tries to keep the ship on course. Spaceman crash lands on Triton. So there you go. Already fixing typos. Baby. Okay, stage gets dark and bass line for alien musical theme comes on. I would like to use what is called a leitmotif. So if I'm mispronouncing it, sorry. But the main idea is that it's a recurring musical theme that is associated to a particular character. So for example, the most famous one, and I don't want to sing it into here, but it's the Imperial March that always accompanies the presence of Darth Vader. That's a leitmotif. And that's probably the best way to explain it, because everyone can picture that. Or Jaws. You know Jaws? Those two notes in Jaws. Well, those are a leitmotif as well. And this is a musical writing tool that you use in musical theater. And it's just an easy way to remind people, oh, we got the bad guy coming. We have angry music. It's the time for the bad guy to show up. So I want to have a song, special song for the Alien musical. Okay, so the aliens are coming in. Their musical bass line starts. And then I've written that song too. Enter aliens surrounding the crash site. Costume note. So we've got a costume note here. Costume design will be designed using 3 guiding aesthetic principles. Some inspiration will be taken from ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic aesthetic. Heads of aliens will appear stretched, like that of artificial cranial deformation. And then 3, inspiration from the Prince film Purple Rain, in which feathers and other fluffy things are added to give more volume to clothes. All right, so a costume idea there, which is just good fun. Okay, so now back to the story. They've rudely awakened Spaceman. They burst into a song and dance routine, one solo vocalist at a time, telling their story and talking about their personalities and their interactions with humans. So talking about anal probes, crop circles, the pyramids, all kinds of interactions between humans and aliens. Reported, and essentially the aliens are going to admit to those encounters with humanity. So that's essentially the song. What else? Let's continue going. Start song. Aliens, the introduction. Basically an upbeat song introducing each alien whose names vaguely resemble those of the Egyptian gods, the king, the queen, the prince, Set, 3 guards, who would also act as guards later on, and later on in the thing. So we're going to have them all over the place. Now, the concept of the song is to imply that the aliens are responsible for the pyramids, Roswell, cattle mutilations, anal probes, crop circles, etc. So nothing new there. The king. So this is just a couple of notes. We can skip ahead. Now, Spaceman was injured on his crash landing on Triton. He's welcomed by the aliens with the alien song, but he has a busted ass. He's going to go to the nurse's office, okay? And the nurse is going to take care of him, and the nurse is going to be the love interest of the main hero, Spaceman. And he's going to the nurse's office, and they're going to share a quirky duet in which they're going to start harmonizing, and guess what? They're going to sound so amazing together. They're going to be just thrilled about it. They are visibly surprised at how easily they harmonize. Now, add a tour of the palace before the spaceship repair. So, got a song idea. There's not actually a song. Welcome to Paradise or something. Horus and Osiris' characters invite Spaceman for an exploratory walk around to fetch some of the material he needs to repair his ship. Horus is the king. Oh jeez. I will switch that around. I'm going to make that mistake a lot. No problem. It's okay. I'm going to get used to talking about this again. Osiris and Horus, we can add that, and Horus's characters. Osiris and Horus's characters invite Spaceman for an exploratory walk. A compound that must be abundant on the moon we choose for the musical. I think we settled on hydrogen. I think that on Triton there is a lot of hydrogen. We're going to choose the right one for the science. So heading out together. The trio head out, calling Seth to come along. Seth moans about not being given enough notice, but comes along reluctantly. He is sarcastic and unpleasant the whole way through. Spaceman and the father soon pair bond instantly. They're really happy to see each other. They share an interest of the moon and its services in terms of science and stuff. They exhibit humor and rapport, the two of them together, okay? So Seth is still sulking. He is the evil brother of the king. So he's mad he was usurped by the birth of his nephew, Horus, who is the rightful heir to the throne. So now his position is dubious, to say the least. So Seth is sulking. The other three are visibly enjoying each other's company in the background of the stage. Maybe a trio juggling routine. LOL. I wrote that. Why not? I want to kind of have it be a multimedia experience with all kinds of different kind of things. Juggling, maybe that'd be cool. Maybe that wouldn't be cool. So Seth erupts into a melancholic, sullen, sarcastic song called My Perfect Brother, airing his grievances about his brother, but also with swagger and a little bit of narcissism. See, he's got a hero complex. He wants to rule the world. All that, those kinds of tasty things. So that's what we're going to know about him. He is also jealous of Osiris's wife. Later in the play, Seth will be visited by his brother's ghost. Plans his revenge. Okay, so Spaceman needs comic relief in his corner, local wisdom, dating customs. Okay, so he needs a friend that will help him. So Spaceman awakens to another glorious day. He banters pleasantly with Osiris around the breakfast table. Spaceman makes a breakthrough on how to fix his ship. Osiris comments on the crisis on Earth. They have a productive discussion about climate change, racism, tyranny, dirty money. They come to a mutual understanding. Song, Dirty Money. So, of course, we've got to sing about that. I think that's going to be a fun song to write. I haven't written it yet, but hey, it'll be a good one. I promise. Both are happy about the depth of their bond. They part on excellent terms. Spaceman goes on to explore with Horus. They go, following this breakthrough of technical insight, they decide they want to go into the wilderness and go get the material they need. Osiris goes to tend his garden. There, he is confronted by a murderous Seth. There is a confrontation between the two. What musical is complete without an homage to Les Miserables? You'll see behind me there. Whoops. Behind me there. Jeez, I gotta get used to using this webcam. Behind me there is a very nice show poster for Les Mis. It's signed by the London cast. Thank you very much. Went there with my wife when she was on exchange in Manchester. We went to London and we saw 3 plays. And it was very, very fun. We saw Les Miserables, Wicked, and Let It Be, which is a Beatles tribute show, which oddly enough we then saw again in Maine at the Ogunquit Playhouse. We saw a full production of Les Miserables, sorry, not Les Miserables, jeez, Let It Be, the Beatles tribute show. And it's actually really fun because a little detail for you Beatles nerds out there. Let It Be, they use all period correct, well, not period correct, but the right guitars for the different periods of the Beatles. So, for example, at the start in the Hamburg days, you've got George playing a duo jet, and you've got Paul playing his Rickenbacker, I think 3, what is it? Is it, let's go take a look. John Lennon, Rickenbacker. Oh, the 325. You see this beautiful thing with 3 pickups there? So they would actually use the correct guitar on stage. So that's a nice little detail that they would do. And it was actually a really cool production at the Ogunquit Playhouse that we saw. It was the last production of the run, the last show of the run. And they shot confetti into the audience. They played an extra long medley and jammed at the end. And it was fun. It was a good time. We were probably the youngest people in the audience, but it was still a good time. And Maine, we had some lobster that night. What a good night that was. We also watched the Tonys. It was a musical heavy weekend. That's the one time I've ever watched the Tonys live. It's a great show. A lot of respect for those guys. Good team. What was it? Was it the Color Purple? Swept the Tonys that year. And yeah, let's keep on going here now. It's a confrontation. Seth literally stabs Osiris in the back. And I think that it would be good if he did it multiple times. Maybe 3 or 4 times or something. Oof. That's real betrayal. Not only stabbing your brother in the back, doing it multiple times. I think that would be extra terrible. Osiris dies, and Seth frames Horus. He's impatient to take the throne, who is just now returning from their afternoon of fun together. Spaceman attempts to stop the guards from arresting Horus, but he is stricken down yet again, and injured once more. The superior strength of the Saturnian breaks Spaceman's back. Seth demonstrates his mercy and sends him to be mended in the infirmary, where his love interest works, and to cool his head down. Horus is in jail and has a song with his cellmate where they smoke a joint together. They have a laugh about imprisoning people over cannabis. Erupt into a weed version of the high society song where Bing and Frank get sloshed at the bar and duet. Jail in this place ain't that bad. So now I just want to, it's this scene over here, if you see the little video clip playing, Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra have like a spirited duet in this movie called High Society, which actually also stars Grace Kelly and Louis Armstrong. It's an incredible cast. In fact, if you look behind me, you'll actually also see, okay, a High Society poster right there. Grace, I will repeat that. Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, Grace Kelly, Louis Armstrong. This is a powerhouse cast. Now, I want to do like a different version, maybe like a reggae version, like some cute little duet between Horus and the other person in the jail. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Okay, so jail in this place ain't that bad. Spaceman is in the infirmary, mending. Even on Saturn, it takes a full day of procedures to mend a broken spine. Spaceman and Aphrodite hatch a plan to spring Horus. I've always wanted to say that. Hatching a plan to spring Horus. They vow to save Horus. The plan. Hey, that's great. A prison break plan. And then prison break plan. So we're going to have the song. It's called Prison Break Plan. That's the working title. So they sing a fun song. The night actually arrives. The guards are patrolling. There's a comical ninja approach done by Spaceman and Aphrodite. They bang the guards' heads together. They get to Horus's prison cell. They spring him out. They ask what the cellmate is in there for. He says, I'm not sure this is going to make it to the final version. And no one's watching the stream anyway, so he says, I fucked a space moose. They wait for the audience reaction to subside, if there is one, hopefully. And then, I didn't know y'all had moose up here. And they leave. You know, this is the one line of dialogue I wrote. Oh, very telling, isn't it? Jeez. Okay. They nearly make a break for it. Oh, pup, you're not supposed to eat a microphone. You're not supposed to eat a microphone. You silly doggy. That's funny. So I just remind you about the presence of Elvis, my sweet dog. Hey, he's a sweet boy. He's a sweet, sweet boy. Okay. Now, we've been reminded about his presence. Thank you. Okay. He says I fucked a space moose. Okay. They nearly make a break for it, but there's a final showdown with Seth. Moosefucker tries to make a run for it, but he is killed by Seth. Seth and Spaceman fight in a duel. Spaceman is knocked out. Evolve, puny humans. Horus comes to the rescue of Spaceman. A spirited combat ensues. Heat of the moment fight. Let's settle this like gentlemen. A song called The Fight Song or something? Something like that? I think that'd be fun. The Fight Song. Homage to Marilyn Manson, perhaps? Yes, let's just put this down here so you get to see that cute little guy. See this cute little guy? This cute little guy right here? Oh, are you here? Has he got something to say? Nothing to say? Okay. Thought he might, you never know. When's he going to start talking? He's getting old. He's a couple months old now. He's 3 months old now. He's going to be 3 months old forever. That's what I'm going to tell people. It doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm going to tell people. Horus helps Spaceman fix his ship. Oh, shoot. So Horus loses an eye in the fight. Now that's mandatory. This is like the big thing about the inspiration I've taken from the actual myth. He loses an eye in the initial myth when he fights Seth. And I like that image, and it's just, he's deeply wounded. So, we just watched Ragnarok actually last night. My wife and I, we really liked that movie. And incidentally, in that movie, Thor loses an eye in battle to his sister. So it's kind of like a mythological motif for a sibling to tear an eye out of another sibling who is also very strong, you know? So two very, very strong siblings to fight. So they're uncle and nephew. This is the Egyptian myth being retold. So he has to lose an eye, but he will slay Seth. And then he'll start the song, What Did I Learn? And how he'll remember what his father taught him and how to be a good king. Song ends with him saying that he is still a bit too young. Will he help me? And then Isis, his mother, admonishes him for thinking that it would be any different. They embrace. Horus helps Spaceman fix his ship and get it operational once more. It comes for him to head back to Earth. Aphrodite and he exchange some words. Spaceman says he understands if this is the end. He's mad at himself for failing every step of the way, crashing the plane, breaking his spine, trying to save Horus, getting hurt again. Aphrodite states that now Earth has successfully made contact. It was no accident. It is time for the gods to come back and accelerate human evolution yet again. So that's another illusion that I'd like to touch on. Look at this guy. Look at this crazy guy. I'm just not even going to address it. I'm just going to let him go. He's chewing my hair, so it's not such a big deal. Essentially, they interfered with human evolution. I'm going to lend credence to that alien myth so these gods on the planet, they are responsible for tampering with the evolution of simple apes and turned them into humans. So that's what we're going to continue. We're going to perpetuate that. That's good fun. Okay, now it's time for the gods to come back and accelerate human evolution again through knowledge and technology. They share a big kiss. You saved my planet, now let me save yours. That's the big final duet. I think I'll have everyone come out onto the stage. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you enjoyed. This is the rough sketch of the Spaceman musical. I'm very happy I got it fresh in my head again. I feel good about this story, and we'll talk about it next time. All right, so peace. Have a good night.